Hello, and welcome to our first discussion forum. I remember when I first started teaching, I was under the impression that everyone had an equal ability to learn everything in more or less the same way. What distinguished the good students from the not so good students was how hard they worked. Slackers got weak grades, and those who worked hard were rewarded. Now, this was a pretty silly way for me to think, particularly since it had not been true in my own education. Two experiences from undergrad are with me to this day. One was economics. Now, I love economics, but I will confess that I am not very good at it. My best friend in undergrad was very good at economics. We'd study together, and everything came so easily to him. I worked 10 times harder in our econ classes, but he always got a much, much better grade. I knew I wasn't slacking, and I also knew he wasn't working all that hard. The other experience that stuck with me was Spanish. Georgetown School of Foreign Service, the program that I was in, required one to be essentially fluent in a foreign language. My language was Spanish. This was another area where I am not naturally gifted. I was good at the basics, but once things got complex, I had to put in a lot of hours to barely get by, let alone achieve success. One pivotal semester, I worked my butt off, only to get a D. Sadly, that was truly my best work. I was devastated, thinking I would never graduate. In the end, I had to go to Guatemala, where I worked with a private tutor every day for 6 hours a day for 4 months before I was finally able to satisfy the requirement. So I had these two experiences, and I still went into teaching thinking if people just worked hard enough at law, which is a subject that actually comes very easily to me, they would do just fine. But really, this wasn't true. There are all sorts of things that influence the way we learn, and hard work is only one small part of it. Indeed, brain science is making huge strides every year, helping us to better understand how we learn so that we can improve the way we teach. Over the next 3 weeks, we'll be exploring the way we learn and exploring some theories around how we can teach to better facilitate learning. For today, though, I'd like you to think about how you think about learning. Is your experience with learning like mine? Is it different? Are your students like you? Is it relevant to apply your personal experience to your theories of teaching? I want you to explore all of that as you respond to this week's discussion prompt about what makes adult learners unique.